The live video. So, hi everybody. This is Lorraine Joseph. It's good to see you. I just wanted to give you all an update on what a terrorist is. So, terror kind of exists as something that happens in your mind, something that people keep continually doing to you, right? There are Islamic terrorists, there are even Christian terrorists. But let's give the definition of what a terrorist is, right? Okay, so let's look that up on Merriam-Webster's. Okay, a systematic use of terror, especially as a means of coercion. Okay, so that's what's happening now with me. So the reason I'm doing this is because Mr. Farbod, okay, Mr. Farbod from the Tim Canova campaign looks like a radical Islamic terrorist to me. So 3 months ago, I told him he looked like Aladdin and to get off of my phone and to get off of my Facebook, unfriend me because he stole my job with the Tim Canova campaign, okay? So I let him know what I think, that was my opinion. And then in response to that afterward, what Farbod did was this, immediately post a screenshot of that so all his friends would come over and call me a white supremacist bitch. So Pedro Dominguez came over and called me a KKK bitch. Some stupid fucking other woman came over and said I was racist, said I was divorced. Well, now he is behaving like a terrorist. So what do terrorists do? They cyber stalk, they look for ways to coerce you to push their own agenda. So to me, Farbod Tehranian, Farbod, Fartboat, looks like a radical Islamic terrorist. He looks like that to me. And now he's proving me right by behaving exactly like one. So, okay, let's break it down. Let's break it down because I actually did a speech on this at my college, Front Range Community College, where I'm still a 4.0 student, even though I gotta be on pathophysiology because I had a fucking concussion. I had all these health issues. So this is for Farbod and all his little cronies who come over and call me a white supremacist bitch, who look for ways to defame my character over something that was between me and Farbod, and mind you, Farbod stole my job with the Tim Canova campaign. Okay, there's that. And then now I made a comment. This was December 9th. I made a comment to him, get off my Facebook. I don't like looking at you. You look like Aladdin. Fuck you. So I let him know that's my opinion of him. And still, this is today. 3/9/2018, I get all these messages from Farbod because you know, this is what he did. He went to my friend Al Rodriguez, okay, and he's like, hey, just so you know, let everybody know that Lorraine's a crazy bitch, da-da-da-da-da. So what does that have to do with anything? What does crazy have to do with anything? What does that even mean? It's some subjective thing that he's telling other people because he still has a hair up his ass about being told the truth. And you know what? If he doesn't like what I said, blow it off. But obviously he's still worried about something, right? So when you use the word crazy to describe somebody, you better be careful because that never means anything. That never means anything. And even if it did mean something, even if he was looking to attack something to do with my mental status, that's fucking disgusting. And it's also illegal under the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. Let's say he was trying to attack some kind of diagnosis that maybe he's speculating I had. Now he's attacking me. So motherfuck Farbod. And if you want to see exactly what was said, I'll show you. So I see there's how many people watching? 9 people watching. So all the people like Pedro Dominguez who said I looked like a KKK bitch because of one comment that was between me and Farbod privately, go ahead and come in here and let me know what you think now. Now that you know that I'm part Egyptian. So I'm an Egyptian, French, Irish, German American who was an activist for all you motherfucking pieces of shit, and you're gonna cry over a little comments? You're fucking pathetic yourselves. And now you're behaving like terrorists, and you've proved me right. So motherfuck you. And you know what? In the terrorist agenda, they look for ways to promote an agenda at all costs. They are devoid of all integrity. And that's what Farbod is. That's what the Tim Canova camp is. And I'm so glad that you showed your ass, Farbod, by calling my friend Al and cyber stalking me repeatedly. Because now I know why all my YouTube videos get taken down. Because of one comment between you and me. You are so sorry of a man. And that's what Islamic terrorists do. So you've proved me completely right. Islamic terrorists look to marginalize women in any way they can. So through coercion, you're calling my friend Al to try to defame me? Fuck you, Farbod, Fartboat. Durka, Durka, Durka. So there you have it. Y'all wanted to call me a KKK bitch. You attacked my legal background, that I was divorced, this, that, the other. I'm a survivor of the Assyrian Brotherhood, so I done know what you terrorists look like, okay? So fuck that shit. Motherfuck that shit. So I'll find you the manuscript of when I had to do a group project at FRCC and give a speech about Mecca, Medina, what is that, over at my school. So you know what? I was the only one to do that. Nobody wanted to touch that issue on what that meant, because what the scope of that article was this. We wanted to all discuss as nurses or as aspiring nurses, because I'm still in school and now I'm out on a medical leave, which is none of your business anyway. But here's the thing. Here's the thing. So what we wanted to do was have a fucking discussion about what is a terrorist, okay? What is a terrorist? And how does that work, okay? So here, answer this for me. What is a terrorist? A person who looks to push a political agenda or some religious agenda in extreme ways. So it could be a Christian. Most of the times in America, we see it as an Islamic terrorist. So somebody who yells Allahu Akbar and then runs up into a place and tries to bomb it. That's what we usually see here. So when we discussed that, what we did was we looked at how are people from maybe Saudi Arabia, how are people who are Islamic, how are people who really are Islamic or aka Muslim, of the Muslim faith, how do they cope when they lose a loved one? What does that look like when they're in mourning? Okay, so that was the discussion, that was the speech that was given. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that up here, okay, because we wanted to understand them culturally so that we could appeal to them as nurses and be there for them when their family was dead, because inevitably people die. So we want to know what we could do for people who are of the Islamic faith, what we could do for them when their family member passes away, because death, dying, and grieving is a real thing. And when you lose a loved one, it hurts, but people take grief differently. People respond to that differently. So we wanted to know post-mortem care of an Islamic patient. Okay, so when that patient dies, the post-mortem care. How do you respond to that patient? Or the dead patient, there's certain ways post-mortem care goes, and it depends on that facility. But we also wanted to know, how are we going to talk to their family? What are they going to be like? What could we possibly anticipate as nurses in the future when we look at that family and we want to say, okay, I'm so sorry for your loss. This is what we can do. These are the next steps. And maybe there's a certain type of language you might need to use. Who knows? But culturally, that was significant. And now, because of one little comment, I've got all this. I've got a fucking mess. So I'm going to go ahead and post the manuscripts to what was said that I worked on with my school so that we could all understand what terrorism is. So remember, terrorism is something that people do. Okay, it's something that people do. It's any group can do terrorism. Okay, Islamists can do. Radical Islamic terrorists exist, so they do that. Radical Christian terrorists exist. Radical any terrorists exist. So when people commit violence to advance a political or religious cause, that's terrorism. So there you have it. There's even female terrorists. There's female terrorists. So crime and terror exists everywhere. And for the record, I'm an atheist, so Allah doesn't exist. Neither does God. Neither does all this stuff about karma. These little legends are things that humanity made up to explain the unexplained. But me, as a scientist, I like to know the truth. And in almost every major religion, gossip is not warranted or is prohibited. So the fact that if somebody is still messing with you, okay, if somebody is still messing with you because you didn't like their religion, let them know that their gossip is something that their religion prohibits, and now they're being a hypocrite. So, hey, here's one for the atheist. There is no God. There is no Allah. There is no such thing as all these other religious doctrines. So when people try to scare you and tell you you're an Islamophobe, tell them you're Islam neutral because you couldn't give a goddamn about somebody trying to scare you by saying Allahu Akbar or just by being a complete bitch to you. So anytime somebody does that, stand up for yourself. I'm going to put up the little manuscript. Don't worry about that. I follow through on my promises. But you know, this is the point of this video. This is my last line, okay? Let me just tell you this. I just filibustered y'all. But let me tell you one last thing. One last thing, okay? One last thing. Over one comment made on December 29th between Farbod and I've had to endure endless amounts of cyber stalking, endless amounts of ridicule, attacks on my legal backgrounds, and for what? For what? For what? So that this kid can feel better? He said, people deserve to know what you said. It's like, okay, fine, but what does that prove? You're proving me right. You're proving me right now. He went to my personal friends and let them know this. He's still calling my friends. I'm like, that's so pathetic. And now you are a terrorist because you're looking for ways to cyberstalk me. You are looking for ways to cyberstalk me and promote your agenda because you're so sensitive and retarded that you're hurt over something from before. And for fuck's sake, I'm over here deaf. So now you are a terrorist, Farbod Tehranian, and so is Tim Canova because you allowed it, and so is Deborah Dion because y'all was so jealous of me. So you got rid of the wrong person. We would have done beat Debbie Wasserman Schultz had you fired the right person. But since this all happens, here we are, and we have to deal with this. So now my freedom of speech as an American citizen, it's still there, but now but be careful because if you piss off a little liberal progressive, you might be terrorized forever as a result of that, like this kid. So it's now 3 months later, and I'm still getting harassed about a comment? Motherfuck Farbod, and motherfuck the bullshit. So here it is, guys. You're just another fucking bullshit fake. If you don't like what I said, don't look at it. And if you got a problem with me, come to me and let me know. And he still didn't do that until I called his ass out. So most people aren't happy until they're caught. So people get sorry once they're caught. So never back down. And motherfuck Farbod and fuck the bullshit. Freedom of speech and have a great day. Love y'all. Bye.